Hello everyone, I'm Tommy with Studio Sense and welcome to another video review today. For those of you that read the description are probably going like, what does this mean? Is this the prologue to a book? This is actually reference to a character in a book series by Mark Greaney called The Gray Man, or the reference to The Gray Man in the series of books. Now, if you've never heard of this guy, I'd never heard of him. He actually co-wrote the Jack Ryan series. And so I thought this character, the Gray Man, was kind of intriguing. And I thought to myself one day, what would the Gray Man wear? You know, what kind of fragrance would he wear? Now, interestingly enough, I've never actually read any of the series, so this is just completely my assumption on what this character might be like or what they might wear, and kind of morph that into, if you want to have that air about you that's mysterious and cool, these are the fragrances that you might want to check out. So when we return, we're going to go over these 7 cool and mysterious fragrances that might turn you into the Gray Man, the next Gray Man. That and more, so stay tuned. Hey guys, and welcome back. So today we're talking about how the Gray Man might carry himself, some of the skills that he might have, and some of the fragrances that might relate to those particular skill sets. So the first fragrance we're going to take a look at is from the House of Prada. Protocarbon is the fragrance that someone that is very chameleon-like might wear. This is absolutely the year-round, every man's signature scent. If you want to fit into society, if you want to wear a crowd pleaser, if you want to get compliments, Protocarbon is the way to go. Now, the interesting thing about this fragrance, it does have some very nice powdery mineralic notes in it, thus the name carbon. You've got Italian bergamot zest, you've got pepper, you've got lavender, you've got patchouli, and a nice bit of ambroxan. So this is one of those ambroxan-based fragrances that modern appeal to it. You can wear any face with this fragrance. Our next fragrance is from the House of Youp. Youp Homme Ice is one of those fragrances that has a really nice duality about it. So it's got hot and cold, and it features the best of both of those aspects. Because of those particular skill sets, it allows you to fit in just about anywhere. This opens up with a very nice citrusy bergamot, grapefruit, but you've also got a nice plum in there and a bit of clary sage. What I love about this most is how the orange blossom, the sandalwood, and the tobacco work together. There's a lot of cool and a little bit of mystery in each one of these fragrances. This is a great fragrance to showcase. Youp Homme Ice is a very inexpensive, sexy, masculine, casual wear fragrance. Our next fragrance is from the House of Lalique, and let's just say this particular fragrance makes you the king of the shadows. Encry Noir is an inky, smooth masterpiece that allows you to hide in plain sight. This has 3 kinds of vetiver, so it's super smooth and super inky, dark, and rich. It's got like a vetiveryl acetate, there's a bourbon vetiver, as well as the very well-known Haitian vetiver. You've got a woody cypress, you've got a smooth cashmere wood, and a heavy musk. Just like the shadows that you fall into when you don't want to be seen, this particular fragrance hides you in a mysterious, cool, dank, with a bit of woody cypress in there. Fantastic, rich fragrance, but you don't have to be rich to own it. It's very accessible, very affordable. Encry Noir. Our next scent came out in 2020. It's from the House of John Varvatos. XX Artisan is an ode to the side of the Gray Man who is an artisan. You can create whatever you want from whatever you have around you to fit the situational needs. This fragrance has a dark, cool, mysterious gray air about it, but it's also lightly vegetal and lightly herbaceous. It's a really nice mix of those qualities in a fragrance. You've got bergamot and bitter orange, you've got geranium, you've got a little bit of Nepalese Szechuan pepper, and just a bit of absinthe wormwood to add a little bit of stark bitterness in there. Sweetened, dried, and mixed with a nice, elegant vetiver, a musk, and a rich cedar wood. Excellent, cool fragrance that I feel like is underappreciated. Even as it's a new release, I feel like it goes a long way, and it's one of the better John Varvatos releases as of late. Even the Gray Man needs romance, and when he needs a little bit of a pick-me-up for a date night scent, he turns to Dolce & Gabbana. Of course, I'm making reference to the one gray. Again, another underappreciated gem of a fragrance. This actually sends the message that, hey, I might be dangerous, but in all the right ways. You've got a nice cardamom and grapefruit open. You've got provincial lavender. You've got vetiver, a little bit of tobacco, some gray woods in there as well, and a little bit of ambergris or ambroxan to give the fragrance some lift. This carries the one DNA, so you do have that very romantic core to this, and that's why I call it the gray man's date night fragrance. This is actually a very, very enjoyable fragrance to wear on any occasion, but along with being mysterious and cool, it has that nice romantic aspect to it as well. Dolce & Gabbana, the one gray. There comes a time in every gray man situation where you've got to cut and run, and the fragrance that you want to help you do this is from the house of Zadig and Voltaire, or Zadig Voltaire. This is one of my favorite cool gray man fragrances. It's got a nice mysterious air about it. It's got some incense in it. It's lightly powdery. It has a little bit of balsamic in it without being too powdery. This kind of reminds me of like a gray shell. It's got a little bit of dusty powderiness to it. You've got a little bit of sweetness from that grapefruit. You've got some lift with that black pepper. By far the best mix in this fragrance is vanilla, sandalwood, and frankincense. And that's where you get that dark, warm, creamy richness from, which adds to that mysterious, cool air of this scent. Again, when it's time to cut and run, this one will leave you the best scent trail. Overall though, the best scent for the gray man as a mastermind fragrance is from the house of Miyake. Noir Argent, just built into the name itself. Noir, you know, you have that noir gumshoe detective kind of sound to it. Argent, silver, black, dark, being in the shadows. This is the fragrance that highlights the coolest parts of your personality with a cool personality all its own. Noir Argent has grapefruit, nutmeg, pink pepper, black pepper. You've got frankincense, saffron, leather, patchouli, vetiver, myrrh. You've got some woodsy notes in here, as well as some other resins that make this an extremely rich, dark, resinous fragrance. Now, similar to Encry Noir, this one is a little bit more modern feeling. This can be worn year round. It's best utilized in cooler weather though, but don't be afraid to wear it on those cooler nights of summer too. It has a fantastic body. Excellent performance. Miyake's Noir Argent. It's time for our final gray man fragrance, or fragrance that's cool and mysterious. This particular fragrance I really, really enjoy. It is from the house of Bentley. Bentley For Men Absolute is one of those cool, refreshing, but still manages to be lightly boozy and mysterious. Created by Michel Almerac, it was back in 2014 was when it was launched. It's got a dark core and a dark center, but it's very soft and very subtle. For being a subtle fragrance, however, it performs really well. It's surprising how well this performs. A lot of people have described the smell of this scent as being like a pencil box, like when you were in grade school. Do you remember the smell of the box of pencils, the number 2 pencils? You got that dry wood from the actual pencil itself, and then the lead that's inside of it. Like on a very hot day in the middle of summer where you go to the lee side of a building where the sun isn't hitting, you're in the shadows there. It's got that dry cool about it. That's similar to the kind of the feel or the vibe. In the top, you've got ginger, pink pepper, and frankincense. You've got papyrus, sandalwood, and atlas cedar in the heart, resting on a base of amber, a little bit of oud, and some moss. Papyrus is a very dry, papery, one of the lighter woods, and that's what's throwing off that pencil box vibe or smell. This is one of my all-time favorite cool, mysterious gray man scents, just because it's so eminently wearable. Bentley For Men Absolute. Well guys, thanks for coming along and checking out these 7 fragrances. Check these out if you don't already own them. If you do have experience with them, let me know what that experience is like. Thanks again for checking out today's video, and as always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow.